It must be the Holy Spirit that saw to it that the gospel passage for this Sunday falls on the 4th of July. Jesus teaches in the synagogue, and his content causes offense among the people of his native place, the one place where he says a prophet is without honor. The 4th of July is a time where it can be difficult to speak prophetically about my native place, the United States, and yet love and the Spirit calls me to do so. July 4th, of course, commemorates the signing of the Declaration of Independence. We know many of the most famous statements that Thomas Jefferson made in that document. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This statement represents the core idea of what we come to call the American dream, the promise that our nation holds, or should hold, the task that it has to live up to. It is a promise that, in many ways, is unfulfilled. This promise was unfulfilled by the founders. Jefferson, the apostle of American liberty, who wrote so eloquently of freedom, we know was a slave owner. For much of our history, Catholics were subject to discrimination on the basis of their religion, a situation that many of our Muslim brothers and sisters face in contemporary times. We only need to scan the headlines each day to find new instances of injustice and discrimination inflicted upon our fellow Americans on the basis of their religion, race, gender, or identity. So why July 4th? What do we celebrate on this day? We celebrate the promise. We celebrate the potential, the capacity for growth, development, and change that is within our power to bring to fulfillment. Our national project of freedom is work left undone. It was put in place by flawed people, and it continues to be carried out by flawed people, myself included. But we have trust in the hope of that promise. The same is true of our faith and our church. Time and again we could look to see how leadership has failed us, how corruption infects us, how despair threatens to overtake us. But we learn from the past, and we proceed to a future of our own making, guided by Christ, guided by the Spirit. We have hope that the promises of our faith will continue to come to fulfillment. We are not yet there, far from it, but we work towards that goal. Jesus, in the gospel, was amazed by the lack of faith among his countrymen. But we know that part of his mission was to bring that faith to the world. This is our common project. We celebrate the fact that it is not completed, that it will continue to grow so long as we, the people, have the will to make our voices and actions heard, and that we can, should, and will get to work to make things better for all Americans.